All right, 5th and 6th grade, welcome to our oil spill experimental. Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you first. I'm going to first go over the worksheet that we are going to be recording our observations on. As I am doing this, you are going to be recording the type of material here. So is it a toilet, or is it the sponge, the cotton balls, the straw, the cardboard, or paper towel? Okay, so this is what you're going to record here. Material roles is talking about if it's a absorber, a boom, a dispersant, or a skimmer. And remember, we talked about those things on our Friday meeting, okay? Effectiveness rating. So how effective was this material to absorbing the oil? Okay, was it a 1 being not at all, or was it 5 being the most effective? And then any other observations that you noticed while we are trying to absorb up this oil. So I have my very interesting oil here. The drops of food coloring are all the different chemicals that are in oil. And then obviously we got the oil itself. And that's why the drop of food coloring looks that way, because the oil won't let it absorb into it. Okay? So we got that. And I mixed it in with a fork. I just put a couple of drops of food coloring into 4 tablespoons of oil. Then we just got our plain water. This is where all the action's going to happen. Okay? And then I got all of my different absorbers here. All right, here we go. So I'm going to pour this into our water. We're going to have an oil spill, which is not going to be fun, but that's life. So here we go. Oh no, oil spill. See how it's not going down into the water? That's what happens in a real oil spill. Okay, so the water doesn't absorb any of the chemicals. The food coloring, you can see, is actually kind of going down into the water. And I think that's what's happening with the ones down here. The food coloring is making it like go to the bottom of the surface, but then it goes right back up, see? So the oil will soon go up into the top because oil does not like to go down to the bottom. So you can see that there's a slight line of oil at the top of our little experiment here, okay? And I'm going to put my boat in. So our boat is the one that just gave all this oil into the water, and we're going to see what will happen. So you can already see that you can see the difference between the oil and the water areas. Okay? So our first material that we're going to use is the straw. Okay? So type of material, you're going to put straw, and I'm going to see how well I can collect this. Now, what kind of material roll do you think it will be? Will it be an absorber, a boom, a dispersant, or a skimmer? All right, let's try it out. Ooh, that's working pretty good. So it's dragging, trying to drag it all into one area. That actually worked pretty good. Look at that. So you can see there's fresh water under there. Drag, drag, drag. Oh, there's a little bit more. This actually didn't work that bad. Okay, so if I'm dragging it, what do you think it is acting like with the actual oil spills that are happening in the water? So is it an absorber? Is it a boomer? Is it a skimmer? Or is it a dispersant? Think about what we talked about, and you can also look at the pictures that we looked at. So that one actually worked pretty good. Let's try our next one, which is our sponge. Okay, so I got a plain sponge here. I'm going to see if I can absorb this. And you can see where the oil is. Our poor little boat is not doing too well. All right, let's see. So there's the oil. You can see the difference. Whoa. Interesting. You see how it you see the oil, how it's like refracting? Refracting means that it's going away from the sponge. Interesting. So it still looks like there's a lot of oil in there, but it seems to be picking up a little bit. I mean, there's still a lot of oil in there, but it looks pretty good. Okay, so there's our sponge. Then we have our paper towel. Okay, so there's all our oil. You can see the line. Let's try our paper towel. Looks like it just absorbed most of the water. You can still see the oil, not doing much. Yeah, really trying hard to get that oil out. It looks like it's going on our paper towel, so it does show that it's absorbing the chemicals in the oil. But it doesn't look like it's actually absorbing that oil. Interesting. Okay, so there's our paper towel. Real good pieces of chemical though. Awesome. Then we got our handy dandy piece of cardboard. Let's see how well that goes. As you can see, our water's getting really red. That means we're dispersing a lot of the chemicals around the water, which I don't think is good, but we'll see if we can clean it up. So you can see that little line, that's the oil. Let's try to get this with the tube. Let's see, oh, we kind of dragged it. Look at that. Ooh, not bad. You can see some oil spots. Wonder if we're collecting any of the chemicals. You can see the oil moving inside of the container. Looks like little bubbles. You see any oil spots or any chemicals collected? Not too much. It's kind of harder to see with this, but it looks like it's dragging the oil, so that's good. So it's kind of putting it to a new location. Interesting. Then we got our cotton balls. Let's see. Okay, so I got one little cotton ball here. I might add more. We'll see what happens. So let's see where's some good amount of oil. Looks like it's all over here. Ooh. That actually absorbed a lot. Holy cow, look at that. Let's try again. You see how the oil kind of like went into it? Interesting. Let's try more than one. Let's see what happens when there's more than one. Grab a ton. Make a oil snowman. I got a ton in my hand. Let's see what happens if I do a lot of them. I might lose some in my hand. Here we go. It's really absorbing the oil. That's awesome. Let's see if we can get it over here too. This one works really well, I've noticed. Wow. So there's some more oil over here. And the best part about this cotton balls is it's not letting out any of the water. See how it's not dribbling at all? That's good. Interesting. I wonder what type of material that is. Awesome. So make sure you are writing down the type of material, the material's role, what you think is the most effective, and then other observations that you had. Now again, you can re-watch this as many times as you want, okay? But we are gonna go on to the next portion of our table and make sure you answer these 3 questions. Okay, so we're gonna look at the observation after the use of a dispersant. And what I'm talking about there is we're gonna put some soap into this and see if there's any different outcomes with all the materials that we have here. So I will see you in the next video.